Green roofs are a key part of the Edenicity upgrade path for cities. So today I thought I'd get out of the studio and show you an actual green roof in downtown Honolulu. I'll also walk you through the top 5 among the many advantages of green roofs, 3 of their potential downsides, and the 3 big things they do for Edenicity. The third one is game-changing. Welcome to Edenicity. Best practices for sustainably abundant cities. The green roof is on the 7th floor of the Topa Financial Center over part of the parking structure for these twin towers. You actually access it from the garage elevator and 3 short flights of stairs. There's a boardwalk, 1,000 square meters of grass, many sheltered benches, views of Aloha Tower and Honolulu Harbor. You'll see ships in the background, and tree plantings, including palm trees of all sizes, as well as plumeria. What can green roofs do for you? I've identified 5 things. First is cooling in hot climates like this, not only within the building, but also in the surrounding environment. Cities have these heat islands that are really huge problems in the summers, and a green roof like this can cool an environment up to 15 degrees Celsius, or nearly twice that Fahrenheit. Second, insulation. In all climates, this is a really good thing because the interiors of buildings are subject to heating and cooling from the outside environment. Third, and this is really surprising, green roofs are durable. This turf here is actually better than almost any manufactured roofing material. Yes, it requires maintenance, but it protects the underlying layers from water infiltration. Fourth, green roofs buffer stormwater. When it rains, hard surfaces just sheet all of that water straight into the storm drains, and you can have this massive flood of water. Whereas when you have a green roof, the first few centimeters of rain are simply absorbed in the roofing material, and this reduces the total volume and rate of flow downstream at the street level. And fifth, and most important, is that green roofs can feed you. Wish I had an example here, but like all garden systems, this one is a work in progress, and I'm sure at some point someone will experiment with edible. What are the downsides of green roofs? Not very many. First of all, they can be a structural problem for buildings that were not built for them. So in most cases, in urban environments today, green roofs are going in as a retrofit, in which case you definitely need a structural engineer to come along and say what loads are safe and then work out where you can put your green roof elements. This is especially important when it comes to tree placement, especially for larger trees, like these beautiful plumerias in the background. Second, there's cost, both for setup, hauling the heavy materials up to the top and establishing the green roof, and also for ongoing maintenance. All the issues that you have with an open yard, you have on a roof as well. And there are additional stresses on a roof that you don't encounter elsewhere. Rooftops are a little bit windier than at ground level, and that can dry them out quicker, and they tend to get a whole lot more sun. So they are subject to more weathering, more erosion, and they need a lot tighter management than ground level yards for those reasons. Now, people have asked about the cost of pumping water up to the top of a roof to irrigate, and I've actually done the numbers, and it's no problem at all. It would take a very small solar panel to make up the difference in energy between ground level irrigation and rooftop irrigation, at least for low rises, such as this location on the 7th floor and Edenicity, which would be about the 3rd or 4th floor. Why would we want to have this in Edenicity? Well, first of all, a rooftop is the best possible permaculture zone 1, especially in a large building, because it's accessible, it's really close to where people live, and gardening close to where you live is foundational to the permaculture concept. Second, rooftops stack functions for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier: cooling, insulation, buffering stormwater, and feeding you, as well as, of course, providing shelter for the residents of the building. But there is a third thing that's really special about rooftop gardens that is so important and integral to the Edenicity concept, and that is that a food garden so close to where you live puts you in daily contact with the giving nature of the world. When you go to a supermarket, food is just a commodity. But when you eat from the environment where you live, where you can go and experience the process of life that goes into keeping you alive, you are now starting to immerse yourself in the life paradigm, or as Robin Wall Kimmerer calls it in her book, Braiding, Sweetgrass, the world is a place of natural gifts and gratitude. And this is the heart of the change that we need to make in our world, from a world of scarce commodities to a world of abundant, self-renewing gifts. If you want to learn more about Edenicity and green roofs, I've put some helpful links in the description. And thanks as always to the wonderful patrons for making this work possible. Take care, stay green, see you next time.